She walked into the office like she owned the place, but the white employee at the front desk saw her differently. Without hesitation, the woman was told to leave, as if she didn't belong there. What happened next shocked everyone inside, and it all started with one wrong assumption. It was 8:42 a.m. when Anna Marshall stepped into the sleek, modern lobby of Elridge & Cole. The building towered over downtown Atlanta, its mirrored windows catching the morning sun like a beacon. Dressed in a deep navy pantsuit and low heels, Anna moved with quiet confidence. Her locks were neatly styled and her leather briefcase swung gently at her side. She'd spent the past decade building her career in silence, working twice as hard to be seen, rising through the ranks, enduring every "you're so articulate" and every ignored idea in a boardroom. Today marked a new chapter, a major one. The front desk sat beneath a marble column, manned by a young white woman named Jessica. With perfectly straight blonde hair tucked behind her ears and a crisp company blazer, Jessica was the kind of employee who prided herself on running a tight ship. She rarely smiled, often judged, and never hesitated to correct people she thought were out of place. When Anna approached, Jessica looked up briefly, then did a double-take. Her fingers paused over her keyboard. "Hi," Anna said with a polite smile. "I have a meeting scheduled upstairs." Jessica blinked. "Are you making a delivery?" Anna raised an eyebrow, then shook her head. "No, I'm here for a leadership meeting." Jessica stood up. "Okay, well, you're not on the visitor list. Do you have an appointment?" Anna reached into her bag and pulled out her phone. "Yes, I was invited by the board. Here's the confirmation." Jessica barely glanced at the screen before waving it off. "I don't care what email you have. If you're not on the visitor list, I can't let you up. You'll have to wait outside until someone comes down to get you." Anna's smile faded, but she didn't flinch. "You're mistaken. I'm supposed to be here." Jessica crossed her arms. "Look, I don't have time to argue. If you don't leave, I'll have to call security." A few heads turned. Other employees were arriving now, filtering through the turnstiles, watching the scene unfold. Some paused, uncertain if they should intervene. Most didn't. Anna stood still, refusing to back down but not escalating either. "I don't think that's necessary," she said evenly. "Maybe you should check again. My name is Anna Marshall." Jessica rolled her eyes. "Miss Marshall, I've been working here for 5 years. I know who's supposed to be in this building." "Apparently not," Anna replied, her voice calm but with an edge. At that moment, the elevator dinged open behind them. A tall, suited man stepped out, scanning the lobby until his eyes landed on Anna. "There you are," he said, walking over with a smile. "I've been waiting upstairs." Jessica's face flushed as the man approached Anna and extended his hand warmly. "Sorry for the delay," he said to Anna. "We've got the board assembled. Everyone's excited to meet you." Anna nodded graciously, keeping her eyes on Jessica just long enough for the message to be received. Jessica opened her mouth, but nothing came out. Her posture shifted. The confidence she wielded moments ago shriveled in the space between them. Anna turned back to the man and said, "Lead the way." As they walked to the elevators, whispers swirled in the lobby. Jessica stood behind the desk, motionless, her eyes following Anna's every step, confused, embarrassed, and suddenly very, very uncertain of what she'd just done. And Anna? She didn't look back once. Want to know who Anna really is, and why her presence shook that office to its core? Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. This story is just getting started. The elevator doors closed behind Anna with a quiet hush, sealing off the stunned whispers still swirling through the lobby. The man beside her, Robert Langston, chairman of the board, pressed the button for the top floor, then turned to her with an apologetic expression. "I should have come down myself," he said, shaking his head. "Some people still don't know how to read a room or a resume." Anna gave a slight smile but didn't respond. Her focus was forward. She wasn't here for apologies. She was here to lead. As the elevator rose floor by floor, Robert shifted nervously. "They're all upstairs in the executive conference room. The department heads, senior partners, legal, finance, everyone's waiting to meet you." Anna gave a single nod. "Let's not keep them waiting." The doors opened onto the 32nd floor, glass walls, open space, pristine hardwood floors. The kind of floor where decisions worth millions were made over cold coffee and power suits. Employees bustled quietly, trying not to stare as Anna passed, but the murmurs had already begun. Is that the same woman from the lobby? Did Jessica really try to throw her out? Why didn't anyone stop it? Inside the executive conference room, the mood shifted the moment Anna entered. Conversations halted, chairs turned. The boardroom table stretched across the room, polished to a high shine, with company veterans seated on both sides. Some faces smiled, but others gave that tight-lipped corporate nod that meant nothing. Robert cleared his throat. Everyone, I'd like to introduce someone very important to the future of this company. Anna stepped forward and cut him off gently but firmly. Good morning, she said, her voice steady. Before we begin, I want to say something. All eyes turned to her. Just downstairs, she began. I was stopped from entering this building. I was asked if I was making a delivery. I was told to wait outside. A shift rippled through the room. Several people glanced awkwardly around the table, unsure what this was leading to. I say this not to single anyone out, Anna continued, but to highlight something we all know exists, even if we don't talk about it. Bias, assumption, disrespect, wrapped in procedure. It's real. It happens every day in offices just like this one. Her tone was calm, measured, but it carried weight. In this position, I expect more, from every one of you. There was a pause. Robert cleared his throat again. Thank you, Anna. Now let's... No, she interrupted, but this time more softly. Not yet. She walked to the head of the table, where the company seal was engraved into the wood. Then she reached into her bag and pulled out a thin leather folder. Inside was a contract, stamped, signed, official. My name is Anna Marshall, she said, locking eyes with each person in the room, and I'm the new Chief Executive Officer of Elridge & Cole. Silence. A sharp breath escaped someone near the back. Even Robert looked stunned, though he'd been the one to escort her up. Anna continued. I wasn't hired because of optics, or because the company needed diversity on paper. I was brought here because your board knew the numbers were falling. The culture was broken, and your vision was outdated. I've been studying this firm from the outside for over a year, and today I'm here to rebuild it, from the inside. Somebody dropped a pen. No one bent down to pick it up. Downstairs, Jessica sat at her desk like a statue, her cheeks still burned. Since Anna had walked through those elevator doors, Jessica hadn't moved. She hadn't answered emails. She hadn't even looked anyone in the eye. She kept replaying the scene in her head, the way she dismissed Anna, the way she refused to look at the confirmation email, the way Anna never raised her voice, never lost control, but still made her feel small. Jessica had spent years building her role as the gatekeeper of the office. She prided herself on knowing everything and everyone. But this was different. Her phone buzzed. From HR subject, please report to 12th floor conference room at 2 p.m. She closed the notification without reading further. Back upstairs, Anna had just wrapped her first executive strategy session. She'd listened more than she spoke, taking note of the room. Who deferred, who dominated, who ignored her entirely. One of the senior partners, a man named Keith, leaned across the table. So, Ms. Marshall, what's your approach going to be? Trim the fat? Clean house? Anna looked at him directly. I'm here to build, not burn. But that starts with accountability from the top down. He blinked. Right, of course. She stood. That'll be all for today. I'd like one-on-ones with each department head by the end of the week. People began to shuffle papers and rise from their seats, glancing at each other. No one moved too fast. The air had shifted. It was clear this wouldn't be business as usual anymore. As the afternoon sun spilled through her new corner office windows, Anna looked out over the city skyline. Her phone buzzed. Message from Mom. Proud of you. You walked through that door like your grandmother would have. Anna smiled to herself. She thought of her grandmother, who cleaned offices at night so her daughter could attend school during the day, who always said, never let them decide your worth. Walk in knowing it. She wasn't just here for herself. She was here for every black woman who'd been overlooked, questioned, second-guessed. She carried them with her, in her posture, in her tone, in her silence when others would have shouted. And though Jessica hadn't yet apologized, Anna wasn't waiting for one. She didn't need permission to belong. She already did. If this story left you thinking, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful stories that reveal the truth behind the first impression.